it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I am here with my very first video doing a traveler's notebook. So this is for the Hop. It's our blog hop, or excuse me, our YouTube hop that we are doing to kick off the fact that we are on the design team for Scrap and Wonders. And this is Beth's shop, her Etsy shop, and she makes absolutely beautiful traveler's notebook inserts, and she just has the best customer service and beautiful products, and it's definitely worth going and taking a look. So I will make sure to have the link in my description, so go on over and look at all of her stuff. And I just am so excited to get started. So I am the newbie when it comes to traveler's notebooks. I have never done one before, ever. This is my very first layout doing one, and I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, just playing. Thought I would work with some watercolors this time. And I'm thinking what I want to do is kind of create a layout that's going to talk about a few things that I want to do in the month of July, or some big events that are going on. It is kind of a busier month within my family, so I just kind of wanted to document that. And I wanted to play, like I said, with watercolors and some colors that I don't always use. So I used some dark navy blue here that you can see, and I also used some purple. And I was watching a Missy video the other day and saw her doing these really cool splatters, and so I did kind of very exaggerated splatters, and I'm okay with this. I'm not absolutely in love with it. I was actually kind of thinking I had ruined the page, but what I'm going to end up doing is grabbing a doily and spraying it. So I'm like, it's okay. What am I gonna do now? Thinking. So I just go off camera for a minute and grab a doily. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't even ruin the doily. I can still use this doily. And I'm gonna grab two shimmers. So the first one is Pink Stilettos, and it is a beautiful and vibrant color. So it works really well, and kind of a darker vibe that I'm doing down there that you can see. And then the other one is my Razzle Dazzle Berry, and I like this one as well. It is a little softer though, and I'm going to spray that on the other side. And I don't know if it's maybe I didn't mix it as well, but it is definitely softer. So there you can see, and I'm liking that, but I want a little bit more of the darker color. So what I'm going to do is grab the darker color, the brighter, more vibrant color, and I'm going to make little strips here. So I thought maybe I would originally just do a border around it, but then I just grabbed my water brush and I'm going to just do like photo corners to the two sides of my layout here. So I like this. I do kind of a larger one here, and I like that. And so I was like, okay, well, let's try it on the opposite side here. And this one's a little bit smaller, so it offsets it really nicely, which I also really love the way that it looks. So it's a neat outcome. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute and come back with some thickers. Now, the thickers that I'm using are part of the stack that I have chosen to get used up in the month of June, and I am working through that stuff really well. So I'm excited that I was able to do that. And the other thing about that is I don't even like these thickers that much. I like the color, but they're really hard to scrap with. So the fact that I was able to use some on this layout it worked well. They're glittery, but I just have a really hard time using them. So I'm gonna spell out Hello July. The hello is just a word that came in an embellishment pack, and it kind of fit perfectly there. And the funny thing is, the way that watercolor dried, it actually had the same kind of loop that the O had, so it was like it was a shadow, and like I purposely did that, which was really neat. And then I'm also going to grab out some of my summertime collection. Now I keep all of my summer things in one little bag, and so I just kind of played through that and grabbed a flamingo and this little heart that says Bright Sunshiny Day. I'm really liking that. So I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do here? I'm still not exactly sure how I'm going to go about it. So I'm just kind of thinking, and I'm going to grab and search through some more of my summer products. I'm thinking maybe a hot air balloon, but it's not really the right color tones, and I don't really want to add in another color, so I'm not going to use that, even though I try them. Maybe on another layout that would work. I think there's just too much mixed media for this one, so it's not going to work here. But I'm going to go through all of it and just kind of look. I do end up finding some pattern paper though, and this is nice because I have these 6x6 papers that I have there, and the whole point is to use them, so I might as well. And so I am going to grab this bicycle paper. I have no idea where it came from, but I like it. And I'm just going to add a little touch of it there. I made it a little too thick though, so I'm going to rip it again. And the nice thing is that when I rip it, I do it in a big enough chunk that I get to use the other side of it, which is a gray kind of just stripe. And I'm going to use that to offset it and make a little paper cluster on the opposite side of all of these other clusters. So that's pretty neat. I like the way that that turned out as well. Now remember, I'm very new to this, so it's like creating a scrapbook page, but it's so not. So I went in and decided, well, if I'm going to use one flamingo, I might as well use them all up. So I literally grabbed every flamingo that I owned, and I'm just going to place them on this layout. I like it though. It definitely represents July for me. And so I'm going to just place numbers 1 through 9. I didn't have enough ones to do 10. And I'm just going to place those all down. And then off camera, because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to say, but off camera, I'm going to document 9 things that are happening in the month of July. It's still June, so I don't fully know like the little moments that are going to happen, but the big moments I know. So the first 2 things I say are about the fact that Canada Day, we're celebrating Canada turning 150, so that's kind of a big deal. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we always go to the beach, so I talked about that. I also talked about the fact that I turned 30 in July. On the 15th, I'm turning 30, and that's a big milestone, obviously, for me. That Jackson gets to go to a summer camp, a full-time summer camp, which will be a nice break. We've been having some troubles with him, so that'll be a really nice break and a good amount for him to go and experience something like that. And then other things that I want to do in my YouTube and workout and eating and all of that. I also talked about the fact that Nora gets to go into her Jolly Jumper in July because she'll be 3 months old and her neck will be strong enough for her to try and do that, and hopefully she enjoys it. So that's just kind of what all of that's talking about. So just kind of a random list of what's going to happen in the month of July. And then my plan is to go back and on the next page have my calendar and just go about it. So when I come back on the 26th, that is when I will be back with another layout for a traveler's notebook. I will share with you that idea in my calendar I have planned for July. So thank you everyone so much for watching. Don't forget to keep on hopping along and checking out everyone else's videos, and I will be back soon. Bye!